2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think all of us is here today. You can start the meeting, I think.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all the members. Mr. Ngoy is our chairperson for today's meeting. I will pass to the chairperson now.
Assalamualaikum and good afternoon to all of you. Before we start our meeting, let us recite doa. First, I would like to call Mr. Ahmed to lead our recitation of doa today. Mr. Ahmed.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahumma ja'al hamna hadza jam'a marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqa ma'suma wa la taj'al fina wa la ma'ana syaqiyan wa la matrudan wa la mahruma. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi wasallam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin.
Amin.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. I will now call this meeting to order. The time is 9 p.m. I am Amin, chairperson of this project. Welcome to our first meeting for English Festival 2020. This meeting is called for the purpose of conclude our budget, activities, promotion, and conclude our project. Thank you to all members for your time attending this online meeting. Our secretary, Mr. Ameh, will now come up to present the attendance and minutes from our last general meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. The minutes from the last general meeting held on 21 October are posted through email. There have been no note changes or corrections. We also have a quorum today with which we can conduct business.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for the detail. At this time, I would like to call for attendance. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Please respond as your name is called. First, Mr. Ameh as Secretary,
Me, sir.
Mr. Afi as Treasurer,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ashraf as ESCO Sponsorship and Promotion,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Afis as Program Coordinator,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Adan as ESCO Food and Beverage and Welfare,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Danish as ESCO SOP and Protocol,
Right here, sir.
and last one, Mr. Peter as ESCO Multimedia.
Here, sir.
Before we continue to our objective and agenda, I would like to ask everyone to read previous minute meeting that had emailed by Mr. Ameh. Please be informed if any mistake.
Excuse me, Mr. Chairperson. There are correction in activities. The activity is supposed to be conducted by Mr. Afis as his program coordinator, not mine.
Okay, is there anything else about minute meeting?
Sorry, Mr. Ngoy. There is an error in the budget. Our actual budget is RM 2050, not RM 2250. Maybe mistake when performing calculation. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Thank you for the correction, Mr. Adan and Mr. Afiq. Mr. Secretary, please take note about that.
Okay, Mr. Chairperson. I will do some correction and an email will be sent to you to be approved. The new minutes meeting will then email to all members.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. And now I need someone to confirm this previous minute meeting. Anyone?
I, Pidot, confirm this previous minute meeting.
I, Danish, confirm this previous minute meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Pido and Mr. Danish. Is there any matters rising before we proceed to our main agenda?
Mr. Chairperson, there is one thing that need to be concerned on. I have sent an email to the top management of SMK Jalan 3 about the event. They will agree to set an appointment and discuss about the festival. In my opinion, we can set the online meeting like what we do for the meeting today.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Okay, then we will discuss about our progression for English Festival 2020. Our objective for today's meeting are the festival budget by Mr. Afiq as Treasurer, event sponsorship and promotion by Mr. Ashraf as ESCO Sponsorship, activity planning by Mr. Afiq as Program Coordinator, food and beverage by Mr. Adan as ESCO Food and Beverage, event SOP and protocol during COVID-19 by Mr. Danish, And the last one is Event Multimedia by Mr. Pidot as ESCO Multimedia. We will proceed our meeting with the budget presentation by our treasurer, Mr. Afif.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairperson. So for today meeting, I will discuss about the budgets for the English Festival. I have already handled and received funds from the college and sponsorship that around RM 2025. The largest contributor for the fundraiser is from our sponsorship, which is RM 1,250, while another RM 800 is coming from college. Therefore, it is very important to discuss about the distribution of the money, which will be distributed evenly for the preparation for the event. I have checked the price list for each of goods and quantity that needed for the event. So, I will move on our meeting with equipment budget for EXCO. I have identified every detail needed for each activity. It consumes expenses for total RM 1040 including RM 400 for activities equipment and RM 640 for the prizes. Next, RM 810 need for food and beverages during the event. The balance of that money will be spent for miscellaneous. So far, we don't have any issue about lack of money, and I hope it goes as we planned.
Thank you for your presentation. For our finance and budget, Mr. Afiq. Now we will listen presentation about sponsorship that will be conducted by Mr. Ashraf as ESCO sponsorship, ESCO promotion and sponsor. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Today I'm going to share to you guys about the sponsorship I have reserved for the event is RM 1225. There are three companies that will sponsor us. The first one is 7-Eleven Holding Berhad, which is located at Plaza Berjaya, Jalan Imbi, Kuala Lumpur. They are sponsored RM 700 for this event. Second is 99 Speed Mart located at Kelang, Selangor. We sponsored RM 300. And last one is popular book course Sdn Berhad located at Desa Tun Razak, Kuala Lumpur. They sponsored around RM 225. All the total sponsorship for the English Festival that has been accumulated so far is RM 1225.
Good job, Mr. Achap. Thanks for your effort. If you don't mind, can I get an extra copy of the paperwork from you because I want to compile it as evidence.
As you wish, Mr. Secretary. I will email it to you right after we end this meeting.
Thanks
Okay,
for
thank you.
sharing, Mr. Achap. Alhamdulillah. So now, as Mr. Achap mentioned earlier, we already got 3 sponsors from different companies. So now we will proceed to the next presenter, Mr. Afis, as our program coordinator to present about the activity planning during English Festival.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairperson. Assalamualaikum, everyone. First of all, I would like to thanks to Mr. Chairperson for inviting me in this meeting. Regarding with the activity that we will implement are a few games such as Explorers, Spelling It Right, Quizzes, Scrabble, and Tongue Twister. As we plan for the Explorers, it had 5 checkpoints, and for each checkpoint, we have some activities that related to this event. We will start the activities in morning about 7:30 a.m. and we will take a lunch break at 1 p.m. At 2 p.m., we will continue with flight activities until 4 p.m. And lastly, the photo session and winner presentation after finish the activities at 4 p.m. How much money that will be spent for these activities? After make the calculation, it will cost about 225 ringgit of expenses.
Mr. Afis, I have a question. How will we conduct the activities during the COVID-19 pandemic, especially for the explorers activities?
Thank you, Mr. Pidot. For Explorers activities, we have 50 students that will be divided into 5 students in one group. Due to ongoing coronavirus disease, we have to make limitation in a group which is reducing team members in one group. So, we have 10 groups that will join the Explorers. For each checkpoint, it will have conducted by the facilitators. So, meaning that 8 of us are required to participate during the game. The objective of activities that will be implemented to encourage the development of students' soft skills such as teamwork and leadership. Besides that, students will be exposed to the use of English through fun, sociable, and exciting activities.
Oh, I see. Thank you for your explanation, Mr. Hafiz.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hafiz, for the presentation. So it is clear that our main activities are explorers. So next, we proceed back to event food and beverage by Mr. Adan.
Thank you, Mr. Jefferson. Assalamualaikum to all members. I am Mr. Adan as the ESCO Food and Beverage. Moving on to food and beverage, all of us have agreed for the budget for breakfast and lunch for all participant and organizing member during the previous meeting. For the participant, we have allocated RM 3 ringgit per pack for breakfast and RM 6 ringgit per pack for lunch. I have listed the menu from the different caterer that suit with our budget. Okay, the first caterer is Bunga Kunyit Catering, in which for breakfast the menu will be nasi lemak and telur mata that cost us around RM2 ringgit per pack with a hot tea as drink. For lunch, it will cost RM6 ringgit. The menu will be nasi ambeng set that includes syrup ice for drink and some condiments such as curry puff and donut. Okay, second caterer is Mokwa Catering. The menu for breakfast is soto with a hot tea that will cost around RM3 ringgit per pack. For lunch, the menu as we discussed is nasi belau, consists of white rice, curry chicken, and Javanese sambal that will cost us around RM6 ringgit per pack with an addition of iced tea for drink. As for us, the organizing member, we will have the same menu to be provided to us as we have similar allocate budget of RM3 ringgit for breakfast and RM6 ringgit for lunch. I have also asked some waiter from caterer to serve the food. Hence, all of members need to vote and choose the caterer now because we need to send the order as soon as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Adan, for your dedication and hard work finding the caterer. So there are three catering that need to be chosen as our food supply. And anyone can give their ideas.
I got one, sir. I suggest we choose the first option, which is Bunga Kunyit Catering, because the price is reasonable and also the food suitable for our participants.
Yeah, I also agree with you, Mr. Danish. This is because I believe the menu is suitable to many test palates for us Malaysian and is within our budget.
Okay, so all of us agree with the bunga kunyit catering. Is there any motion?
No.
No, sir.
No.
Okay, then Mr. Adan, please email to me the detail about the catering that we had choose just now.
Okay, Mr. Chairperson, I will email to you the quotation of the caterer that we have discussed with.
Thank you, Mr. Adan. Next, we proceed for our next agenda regarding event promotion by Mr. Ashraf.
Thank you, Mr. Chairperson. For promotion, I have provided some news to promote the English Festival program to students and the school staff of SMK Jalan Tiga. For example, I have provided a competition schedule, program schedule, and map of the place. I have also made posters and banners of 3 units, where 2 units I will paste and hang at the school entrance a week before the start of this festival. This aims to inform and promote this program to the student of SMK Jalan Tiga. I will also make flyers to be given, where I will also distribute the flyers a week before the program start.
It is good to hear it, Mr. Ajab.
Sorry for interrupt, Mr. Chairperson.
Okay.
I have a suggestion. Instead of buying banner and flyer, why not if we just promote in the social media? It's free and easier. I hear that SMK Jalan Tiga have their own group in Facebook, so we can promote there freely without a charge. It's killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah,
Good
I
idea.
agree. I agree with Mr. Adan's suggestions. As at School Multimedia, I can help Mr. Ashraf to promote it on media social such as Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, then I call for the vote. Those who agree, please hands up your hand. Okay, good. Then so everyone agree to promote using the social media on Facebook. Next, we proceed with the next agenda, event protocol by Mr. Danish.
Okay, good evening to our chairperson, Mr. Ngoy, and friends. Let me introduce my name first. My name is Danish, and I had position as EXCO protocol. As we plan, the festival will be conducted in proper protocol to ensure all the plans run smoothly without any hiccup. This festival can be achieved by following the program tentative. As we all know, Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, we must take proper precaution steps to prevent the coronavirus disease from the keep spreading. With the help of the school, they are providing us with some items to protect the students, such as one thermometer to check the temperature, three bottles of hand sanitizer, and two boxes of face masks for students. Following the guideline from the government, I had implement a few strategies to reduce the risk from the coronavirus spread among the facilitators and students. Everyone strictly to undergo health screening with temperature check, use hand sanitizer and wear masks before the event starts. After that, social distancing will be applied on the event as our precaution steps. I hope everyone will cooperate to achieve this event and also together to prevent the transmission of COVID-19.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Danish, for this information. Safety was our first priority. Safety first. Now let's proceed with event multimedia by Mr. Pidot.
Thank you, Mr. Danish, for the SOP, and thank you, Mr. Jefferson. As the EXCO of Event Multimedia, I have come up with two of the most trending platforms that I believe the youth generation usually use, which is the Instagram and Facebook. First, our own page has been created, and I will refer to Mr. Jefferson first for approval before I upload anything on there. And
Okay.
during the event, I will prepare for my own DSLR camera, my personal DSLR camera, to take pictures and videos to be uploaded on our social media platform and for our documentation later on. For event promo teaser, I will compile the materials from Mr. Ashraf and develop it into a short video and post it at the school's FB page. Next, I had an idea that to make our communication easier during the event, it would be nice for if all of us have walkie-talkie so that in any occurrence happen, we can communicate smoothly and easily. I did a few surveys for a cheap walkie-talkie around my house and will cost us only around 10 ringgit and 50 cents each. Now, I would like to ask our treasurer, Mr. Afi, if we have any remaining budgets and also the chairperson, Mr. Roy, for a permission for us to buy walkie-talkie for this event to communicate easier.
Hmm. Instead of buying the walkie-talkie, I think we can borrow it from UNIKL Mestech. For sure, they have some spare laying around somewhere.
Yeah, I agree with Starfleet. Instead of buying it, we can borrow the walkie-talkie so we can save money there.
Oh, I
Does it
see.
really? I assume everyone agree with the suggestion as no one's object the suggestion. Mr. Ahmed, did you note everything regarding our discussion in the meeting? I hope I will get this minute meeting before our next meeting on 25th November 2020 for checking and verification. And don't forget to submit the correction previous minute meeting to me.
Yes, Mr. Jefferson. Sure, I will submit to you in short of time.
So members, as a conclusion of our meeting, we decide that the total budget for the English festival that has been accumulated so far is RM 2050. Three companies agreed to sponsor us, which are 7-Eleven, 99 Speed Mart, and Popular Book Co. Sdn Berhad. Explorers will be our main event. We will choose Bunga Kunyit Catering as our caterer. We will opt for promoting the event at social media instead of using banner and flyer. We implement the SOP for COVID-19 based on the guideline given by the government. And the last one, the use of personal DSLR camera to take videos and photo. I think that we have reached end of our meeting. Thank you for your cooperation. I hope that all of us are happy with our discussion, and to all the floor member that I mentioned before, please don't forget to email your attachment to me and other floor members. Please don't forget our next meeting on 25th November 2020 at 2:30 p.m. Thank you for your cooperation. Thank you very much, and please take care of your health.
Right.
Assalamualaikum.
Thank you,
Welcome, sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Waalaikumsalam,
Waalaikumsalam.
sir.
Thank
Alright.
you,
Thank you,
everyone.
thank you, Mr.
Bye.
Chairperson.
Thank you, Mr.